So I just want to review to make sure that you understand about variables, control groups, controlled experiments, independent variables, and dependent variables. So I'm just going to use a little example of an experiment that uses all of the vocabulary words. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about an experiment where a student tested to see if a certain plant food made a plant grow better. Okay, so for those types of experiments, you're going to need pots and dirt. You're also going to need plants or seeds, and you're also going to need a place to put them, and preferably with a light source, because don't forget plants need light. So what we want to do is make sure that we have a controlled experiment. And in order to have a controlled experiment, you have to make sure that everybody gets the same treatment. Everybody gets the same type of pot, and even though I drew this one a little bit bigger, they should be all the same size. Everybody gets the same amount of dirt. Everybody gets the same type of seed. Everybody gets the same amount of sun. So you have to be fair. You got to make sure it's fair. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is make sure that we have a control group. And what I like to say for the control group is the control group should be the natural or the normal condition for whatever you're experimenting with. So in this case, the plant. The natural or normal condition for a plant is that we feed it water. Okay? So in this case, we're actually going to put water into the plant to feed it. Okay? So this will be called the control group, and that's the one that gets the natural. And that's the one that gets the natural or the normal treatment. And the reason we need a control group is because we need to compare the other groups to it. So let's say, for example, I'm going to give this one Mighty Grow, and this one Miracle Grow. So I want to see if the natural is better than the Mighty Grow, or if the natural is better than the Miracle Grow, or if the Mighty Grow is better than the natural. So this is what we want to test. We want to look and see if we can compare it to what would normally happen. Okay? So the control group is for comparison. I'm just going to put that. Now, there's also things called variables, and variables are all the things that are part of the experiment. So this pot, that's a variable. The seed, that's a variable. The dirt, that's a variable. What you feed it is a variable, okay? And we want to keep all of the variables exactly the same, controlled, except for one. We're going to change one thing. Here's what we're going to change. We're going to change what we feed it. So in this case, we're going to feed it water. In this case, we're going to feed it Mighty Grow. And in this case, we're going to feed it Miracle Grow. Okay? So we're going to put the Miracle Grow or the Mighty as food. And in this one, it's going to be Miracle as food. So the one thing that we change is what we feed it. And that is called the independent variable. And I'm just going to put IV for independent variable. And the independent variable is the one thing that we change. And the way I always remember it is independent starts with an I, or your one finger, independent, and the independent variable is the one thing that you change. So independent one, okay? And then the last thing that I want to talk about is the dependent variable, And the dependent variable is the thing that we measure, or the data we collect. Dependent variable is the data, and it's the measurable thing. And in this case, we're going to measure how tall the plant grows. Does it grow taller with water in the natural or normal condition? Or does it grow taller with mighty growth? Or does it grow taller with miracle growth? Okay? So the dependent variable is the data, and that's the measurable part of the experiment. Okay? Hopefully that clears a few things up.